कमल रघुनंदन कमल रघुनंदन कमल रघुनंदन कमल रघुनंदन बंदो चरण कमल
जो मुकराम जपे ना भैया वो बचे पछताए, सीताराम जपे जो मरा जन्म सफल हो जाए। जो मुकराम जपे ना भैया वो बचे पछताए, सीताराम जपे जो मरा जन्म सफल हो Hari Narayana, Hari Narayana, Hari Narayana, Hari Narayana, Hari Narayana, Hari Narayana, Hari
प्रेम से बोलो प्रभु रामचंद्र की जय। Let's clasp our hands together, close our eyes, bow our heads. Let's contemplate on that form of Maryada Purushottam, Bhagwan Shri Ram. As we wave this sacred light of love and devotion, we surrender our all with our imperfections to the feet of the Lord. In the hope that He will bless us, that on one day all our troubles and difficulties will disappear and we will return back home to Him. So as you perform that sacred arati, you're offering light unto the Supreme Light itself. And everything that light is supposed to represent, you are making that offering unto the Divine. Ramaya Rambhadraya Ramachandraya Medhase Raghunataya Nataya Sitaya Patiyai Namaha Sagar Sthiti Vinashanam Jagatoyo Jagamayaha Munabhuto Namastasmai Shri Vishnuve Paramatmane Namastute Om Saryam Shri Praise the Lord from Ramachandra ki Jai. Take your seats. May I, on behalf of the members of the Shri Parameshwari Durga Devi Ashram, extend the most cordial welcome to all of you to tonight's discourse. Special welcome to John and his group who have been doing yeoman service Sanatana Dharma all over this country. Nearly every day when we look at social media we see John, and that is a tremendous sacrifice to be out every single day apart from doing a normal job. It tells you the love and devotion he has for his dharma, his culture, and he must be commended for it. It's an example to all young individuals. John is not an old person, right? And to see somebody his age doing this level of work at the pace at which he goes up, I really don't know how he is doing it. Every day I know he is in some part of the country. And that says a lot about your love and your devotion for your dharma. May you be on your family and all your group members, their family. Be blessed to continue this work as long as you all are able to do so. To all devotees from different mandirs, I have my in-laws from the Kabir Pradesh Ashram, devotees coming in from other temples. We say welcome to this, the second night of our 7 nights Ramayan Yagya. And later tonight I'll tell you, this Ramayan Yagya we're doing is a foundation for something that we have coming up in the ashram. Something big, something festive, something dynamic. And it is only an introduction of what is to come. Alright? And it's something not only us in the ashram will be directly involved in, but all of you, the entire community and all of the places that receive our messages and so on will be directly involved in it. So as the night unfolds, we'll let you know more about that. So before we go into the depths of tonight's discourse, let us sit upright for a few moments, contemplate on that Supreme Being in the form of Ganesh, Bhagwan, Devi, Saraswati. Our tradition teaches us before we start anything, we pay salutations to Bhagwan Ganapati, he who is the giver of success, the remover of all obstacles, and is always first and foremost among the Devatas. We humble ourselves and pay salutations unto the lotus feet of Devi Saraswati, through whose grace and blessings we are able to receive the knowledge that is being dispensed and implemented in our daily life. We surrender ourselves to the lotus-like feet of our own Guru, he who is the link between humanity and divinity, the ambassadors of God upon the face of the earth. We pay salutations to the deity, the presiding deity of this Yagya, Prabhu Shri Ram. And as we go through the pages of the Ramayan, the glories and the greatness of Prabhu Shri Ram will be highlighted. Praise the Lord, Prabhu Ramachandra ki Jai. So again, special welcome to those of you who now come here. And we appreciate your time and effort in joining us in our Ramayan Yagya. Now from time to time, we hear of divine manifestations. And so, if you look at our altars, all of these murtis that you see represent different form of the same one supreme being. How many gods do we have in Hinduism? In Sanatana Dharma, how many gods do we have? The Upanishads tells us, the Vedas tells us, they are Ekam Paramam Brahman. There is only one reality, there is only one God. Now I'm telling you, I'm repeating what Vedas has, there is only one God. But when you look at the altar, you'll see different manifestation. So let me use yourself as an example. You are an individual, isn't that so? And during the course of the day, you are going to fulfill different roles. So to your mother, you will be a child. To your husband or wife, you will be a spouse. To your children, you will be a parent. When you go to work, you will be a co-worker, or you may be a boss. Alright? When you meet up with your colleagues, you will be a peer. Alright? The village that you live in, you will be a fellow villager. The country that you live in, you will be a citizen. Did you change? In all of these relationships, did you change? Time, place, and circumstances changed. Isn't that so? So too, when that supreme infinite being decides to embody himself from the Nirgun form into the Satgun form, time, place and circumstances changes to cause that Supreme Being to appear in a physical form. So tonight, we are going to look at the circumstances that lead to the descent of Bhagwan as Shri Ram. And in this, I'm going to focus more on this concept that we call the avatar. What is the concept of the avatar in Sanatana Dharma? In no other religion, if you analyze all of the Abrahamic faiths, the image they portray as God is some being up there or in some distant place, detached from what is happening here on earth. Sanatana Dharma teaches us that Bhagwan is closer to you than you actually think. He's here, he's there, he's everywhere. He's in the murtis. But although he's in the external objects, he's also within you. The entire structure of yoga philosophy is not to look outward, but to look inward, to find the divinity from within. And that is the sum total of the teaching of the Upanishad. So we look at the avataric principle, the concept of the avatar. What is the avatar? Why does the avatar come? So tonight we'll be looking at what is the circumstance that lead to the descent of Bhagwan Shri Ram on the stage of this earth and to perform, well, the rest of the Ramayan tells you about the Leelas of Prabhu Shri Ram. So this concept of the avatar is something unique to us. It is one of the hallmarks of Sanatana Dharma. Why? At a cosmic level, it tells of the evolution of the self, of the soul. If you look at the order in which the avatars come. At the same time, it also tells us the intimacy between man and divinity. It also shows us how prayer, how devotion, how bhakti can compel that supreme power to do the will of the devotee. So tonight we'll be looking at all of this in summary. Last night we looked at the power and the greatness of the name of Shri Ram. Tonight we are looking at the circumstances that led to the descent of Shri Ram, and by extension we are not limited to the form of Shri Ram. We are going to look at the concept of the avatar. In no other faith there is the concept of an avatar. It does not exist in Christianity, it does not exist in Islam. It does not exist in any of the Abrahamic faiths. It is something unique to us as Hindus. And we have to understand what this concept of the avatar is about. So, let us all join that assembly as Goswami Sant Tulsidas narrates. Tonight's discourse we are taking from Balkan, and we are starting from, well, in this book is Doha number 121. Alright? So, we take it from प्रेम से बोलो प्रभु रामचंद्र की जय. And Goswami Sant Tulsidas is writing, and he's saying here that one of the main reasons why God comes, or the avatar appears on earth, or in this case, in his particular case, one of the reasons why Bhagavan Shri Ram comes is to kill the demons. Now we have to understand what is the concept of a demon. Very often when we're looking at the movies and the films and so on, they'll portray an ugly fellow with horn and big teeth and so on. What they're really trying to, what message are they really trying to tell you? What is a demon? You know, you could have the most beautiful person standing in front of you, and that person is really a Rakshas at heart. Huh? No amount of Sasha and you could help you there, you know. What makes a person a Deva and another one an Asura? Because far too often, when we talk about, even, and not limited to Sanatana Dharma too, if you talk to your Christian friends and your Muslim friends, and they talk about Satan and the devil and so on, what image they give you? Is some fellow with horn and back wings and all that kind of thing, right? But this Rakshas or this devil or whatever you want to call him is really your character, your behavior, your attitude. When you allow yourself to be dominated by lust and greed, the Shatavikars according to the Upanishads, when you allow yourself to be dominated by lust and greed and anger and hatred and malice and jealousy and envy, you are a Rakshas. But if you have things like love and humility and compassion and so on in you, that those are divine qualities. You are a Devata. It has nothing to do with your physical appearance. It has to do with what you naturally gravitate to. For example, Ram Katha is being read here in this mandir, in this part of the village. You had a choice. You could naturally gravitate to come to this type of satsang, or you could have gone right just a few, less than 100 feet up the road here. Very wrong shot. You have had a different satsang taking place there. Right? As Swami Vivekananda says, association with the wise elevates. Association with the unwise degenerates. So the Devatas, they gathered in satsang. The Rakshas, they gathered in kusanga. When we gather, the Devatas gather, we talk about constructive things. And don't go away with the idea satsang is only religious in nature. Any thought or idea that is generated in a meeting forum or in some kind of congregation for the betterment of oneself and one society and one community is a type of satsang. Conversely, any gathering that takes place in which death and destruction and all of the negative traits are planned, executed, that is kusanga. So it doesn't only have to be religious stuff you're dealing with. You gather as a panchayat in your village or even within your home. You're having a family issue. You and your wife and or your husband and your children come together to find out, well, how can we solve this problem? That is a form of satsang. Discussion is taking, communication is taking place where you hope to achieve a positive outcome. So here, the Rakshas, one of the reasons why Bhagavan Shri Ram comes in, for the killing of the demons who are resistance to the gods. Meaning they oppose everything that is virtuous. The qualities that I just called out, the love and the humility and so on, and the compassion and so on, those who are adverse to those qualities, for the killing of those who are adverse, or the demons who are adverse to the godly qualities, and for the preservation of prosperity and peace, Bhagwan descends. For the diffusion of religion and knowledge from the holy ones to the wider world, Bhagwan descends. When Bhagwan comes, he gives two things happen. One group of people is happy and the other group of people is agitated. The bhaktas, the rishis, the munis, the sadhus, when Bhagwan comes, they are happy. God has come. On the other hand, those who don't possess those qualities, or who are dominated by lust and greed and anger and so on, when Bhagwan comes, they are agitated. They are the ones who strive to make the conflicts in society. When one is sinking, when the devotees are sinking in this world of this ocean of worldly existence, Bhagwan, in all of his compassion, descends upon the earth to rescue his devotees. For the sake of the liberation of the rishis and to answer the prayers of the rishis and the munis, to liberate the souls of his devotees, to protect the sacred cows, and to establish proper social conduct, guided by the Vedas and the Vedic tradition, Bhagwan descends. So notice what Bhagwan is doing. To preserve everything that is progressive, to preserve everything that is conducive towards the future development of one's self and one's society and one's community, Bhagwan comes. Now let us cross-reference that to Bhagavad Gita. Bhagwan Krishna says that from time to time he will appear. And what was the reason that he gave? Paridranaya sadhuna glenashaya tadushtika dharma sanstapanadhaya. Paridranaya sadhuna, what is the protective virtuous? Just in a different way Tulsidas is expressing it. Right? Paridranaya sadhana glenashaya tadushtika, to put an end to unrighteousness. Dharma sanstapanadhaya, to reorganize society according to time and circumstances. Sambhavami yuge yuge, I will come from age to age. Alright? So these are the circumstances that compel Bhagwan to appear on earth. When the misery of, when Dharma starts to decline to the extent to where the holy ones are threatened, Bhagwan will make his appearance. Now, we live in a society if you're looking at social media and world news and so on, not everything that is right is popular. Understand that. We live in a world where not everything that is right is popular. There's a lot of unrighteous culture and behaviors that has sprung up recently. And so there's a lot of movements internationally. Instead of having proper standards and proper family life and so on, they have the converses happening. It is very popular, they are very powerful by way of advocacy, but that doesn't mean say right. So you have to be careful when you're listening to people and when you're interacting with society. Sometimes the rightful things to do and to say and the rightful places to be, they are not popular. And nowadays children, I know some of you will experience that in school. The popular boys and girls in school are not always the most well behaved. Sometimes they are the biggest bullies in the classroom. Sometimes they are the ones that are hiding and taking their little drink and they smoke and all that kind of thing. I mean, I was a school teacher at one time. I could tell you what is going on in the classroom. Alright? But because of their popularity, sometimes under peer pressure, you want to be like that. And so you are throwing away now your value system to adopt theirs. That is the brainwashing. So not everything that is popular is righteous. So you have to be guided now by your cultural traditions, by your upbringing. In the case of the student, be guided by the parental values, that the home, the value system that you inherited from your parents. All of us here, by the time educational psychologists will tell you, by the time the child is 5 years old, 6 years old, 7 years old, he already knows right from wrong. A little child in the infants, first year, second year, they know right from wrong already. But sometimes, not only children, even adults, we do things to fit in, to be accepted in society. And sometimes the things we do, it may not necessarily be the righteous thing to do. But it is popular, that is why you did it. So Bhagavan Shri Ram Goswami Sant Tulsidas is telling us here to preserve the good qualities, to preserve the righteousness, to answer the prayers of the rishis and the munis and so on, to protect society. He will come from time to time. And Bhagavan himself is taking the responsibility of protecting the social integrity. And so he continues. Chaupai the number, 1 to 3. Prince Prabhu Ramachandra ki Jai. So Bhagavan Shiva is telling Devi Parvati, Bhavani, the birth of Shri Ram is due to his own mercy and compassion. This supreme being, by his own will, he allows himself to appear in the stage of the earth in the form of a man for the well-being of the entire world. And he continues, he says, Ram's births are many. And this is a concept I want to come back to you. But before I explain it to you, let me throw out some ideas to tickle your thoughts a little bit. I know there's some bright people here. So in what year did Shri Ram came? Huh? When did Shri Ram appear on the stage of this earth? In what year that was? Anybody answer again? Extra pasta person. What year did Shri Ram appear? Come on. All you know this. I know all you know it. Huh? Treta Yuga. Alright? So Shri Ram appeared in Treta Yuga. What year are we in now? Kali Yuga. So which means that Treta Yuga gone. Shri Ram's avatar has gone. Alright? But what if I were to tell you right now Shri Ram avatar and Ram Leela is taking place somewhere else? And Shri Ram is walking on the earth in that somewhere else place. Does it make sense? Huh? So what I want to draw your attention to is something what modern physics call string theory. Alright? Where we have the multiverse. Sanatana Dharma never believe in this concept called a universe. Alright? You all just told me Treta Yuga gone. We are in Kali Yuga. That is correct. That is correct for this earth in this universe. Alright? But there are other universes. Some of them creation has now started. Some of them Satyuga is taking place. Some of them Treta Yuga is taking place. Some of them Dwapara Yuga is taking place. Some of them Kali Yuga is taking place. Some of them are being destroyed. Some of them are now being created. We belong to only one universe, but there are multiple universes, or what we call the multiverse. When Bhagavan Vishnu lies on that sheet saga there and he breathes, every bubble that comes out of his pores is a universe by itself. It has its own galaxies, it has its own worlds, it has its own structure, just like us. There are billions upon billions of galaxies in our own universe. Let me cross-reference now to Bhagavad Mahapuran. On one occasion, Lord Brahma came to meet Lord Krishna in Dwarka. And he met the guard, the Dwarpal, at the gate. And he said, I wish to see Bhagavan Krishna, to speak with him on an urgent matter. So the guard went, and Krishna was right there, right inside, and he said, Bhagavan, Brahmaji is here to speak with you. And so Krishna looked at the Dwarpal, and this is Krishna's Leela now. Which Brahma is here? So Brahma was hearing this conversation between the god and Krishna. And he says, the god is saying, Chaturmukha Brahma, the four-headed Brahma. That's what we have here. Right? So Krishna was instructed the god, bring in Brahmaji with all respect to my throne room. And so Krishna ascended the throne in Dwarka and Brahmaji was escorted here. And this tickled the mind of Lord Brahma. After having the discussion, they said, Lord, there is one query I have. When I arrive, your God announced my presence. You ask, which Brahma? I am the only creator of this universe. Is there any more Brahma? And so Bhagavan Krishna, he smiles. And by his own divine potency, he summons all of the other Brahmas to his presence. And Brahmaji, our Brahma, the four-head Chaturmukha Brahma, was there and he's seeing other Brahmas coming in. One had 5 head, one had 10 head, one had 100 head, one had 1,000 head. And Brahmaji was astonished. And so Bhagavan Krishna is saying, you are only the Brahma of this creation, of this universe. These are Brahmas of different universes. So here, when it is Goswami Tulsidas, right, Shri Ram births are many. Alright? And even later down in the same Ram Charitra Manas, when time for Shri Ram to go back. Remember I told you on one occasion, it was only a Sunday service, I can't remember. But when it was time for Shri Ram and Yamaraj had to visit Shri Ram, well, Yamaraj cannot go where Hanuman is, you know that. So Shri Ram devised a plan. He will drop his ring into the crop, and when he will ask Hanuman to go and fetch that ring. And when Hanuman went down there, what he saw? Huge mountains of rings. Each one of them was dropped by a Shri Ram in some creation. And that was a signal to know when it was time for the Ram avatar to come to an end. So here in Bhagavatam, Lord Brahma himself get confused. So when Shri Krishna showed him that these are different Brahmas, they are responsible for creation in the different worlds, in the different universes. And so Brahma realized that he is just a small part of the vast nature of God's creation. Now that has a lot more significance, which I will not go into detail tonight. I know when we advertise as Ramayan Yagya, I told you we're going to deal with some of the science and some of the social science, not just read Ramayan from like a poetry, alright, like what happens in most of our Ramayan Yagyas, alright. So our Brahma has 4 heads. There are other Brahmas, 5 heads, 6 heads, 7 heads, 10 heads, 15 heads, all among, right? And this tells us about the type of dimension that we live in. 3 heads of Brahma is readily visible when you're looking at them, right? Use the murti as a guide. If you stand up here and you look at it, it's readily seeing 3 heads of Lord Brahma. Right. I'll show you the marks behind it. Does he have a 4th head? Our Brahma is known as Chaturmukha Brahma. Where is the 4th head? To the back. But can you see to the back of Lord Brahma head from a straight line? No. Right? So that tells us something about the concept of light. That's physics we're dealing with now, right? It also tells us about the dimension. In maths, you know it has the x-axis, the y-axis, the z-axis, and so on. Alright? So that we are engineering, supposed to know what I'm doing. Supposed to. Right? So these are just different concepts, mathematical concepts. The highest a human being will ever able to go in this creation is to the 4th dimension, not beyond that. Einstein has laid the foundation through his relativity, general relativity, that there's nothing in this universe will exceed the speed of light. You could come close, you could come exact, but you will never be able to exceed the speed of. And this is also mentioned in our scriptures, that in this universe, man will not exceed the speed of light. However, it is possible to travel beyond into other dimensions. Again, Bhagavad Puran has the example. How many of you know the consort of Balaram? She was somebody from a different era of time. Alright? On another occasion I'll tell you about that. Okay? So, this, when Goswami San Tulsidas says, Shri Ram birth are many, this is what he's hinting to in some form or the other. Shri Ram had come already, and he will come again, and he will come again and again and again. Alright? It also means that that form of Ram, it appears here, it will appear again in some other universe. Just as there are Treta Yugas occurring somewhere else right now, Shri Ram is, that is why I told you, Shri Ram is already, Ram Leela is already taking place. Kat Basund himself was fortunate that within this universe, within our world, he was able to witness Ram Leela multiple times. He was given that varadan that he will exist beyond, outside of time. His body and mind will not be affected by time, just like Narad. And so he was able to witness Shri Ram come in and performing his leelas again and again. That is why he was one of the more accurate narrators of Ramayan. So Bhagwan Shiva is telling Devi Parvati that Ram birth have occurred many, many times, and all of them are for the welfare of his devotees. Now every time Ram Leela takes place, it is a different outcome. It is to set a different goal. Last night I told you, this Ramayan that we read, this Ram Charitramanas, is a Bhakti Sastra. If you analyze the life of Sri Ram in this Leela, Bhakti was the predominant factor in his life. He was very respectful to his parents, he was very respectful to his sages and saints. He was in other words, he uphold dharma, and he preserved the bhakti integrity of everything. He did it with passion, he did it with love. So in this Leela that he performed, bhakti was a dominant factor in his mission. Another main goal of the Ram avatar and of this Treta Yuga that went by. Unlike Bhagwan Krishna, Sri Ram didn't outwardly display miraculous feats. And one of the goals of the Ram avatar of this Treta Yuga that went by was to teach man how to harness his own potential. What is another name for Sri Ram? I told you that last night. What is another name for Sri Ram? He is known as Maryada Purushottam, meaning man in his perfection. So he wants us to use our own potential to overcome life's challenges. Did Sri Ram have an easy life? How many of you think Sri Ram had an easy life? He didn't have an easy life at all. Alright? But look at what he did. He used his own potential. Sri Ram hid his divinity and used his potential as a human being to overcome adversities. Unlike Krishna, that is why it is said the life of Sri Ram is to be emulated and the teachings of Sri Krishna is to be abide by. Sri Krishna did not live the life of an ordinary human. He lived the life of a God. Outwardly, he displayed his divinity. He revealed the divinity of himself. He didn't hide it. And it has to do with the difference in the mission of the avatar. So Bhagwan Shiva is continuing Devi Parvati. This form of Sri Ram came as a consequence of the curse delivered unto Jaya and Vijaya. Now we all know who Jaya and Vijaya is. Vishnu Puran, Bhagavad Puran tells you that the gatekeepers of Vaikuntha is Jaya and Vijaya. And on one occasion, the Kumars, the four Kumars, Sanat Kumar and his brothers, they journeyed to Vaikuntha and wanted to have an audience with Lord Vishnu. But because they were met with some degree of disrespect, a sarap was pronounced on Jaya and Vijaya that they would be born as Rakshasas on earth. And so they came as Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksh. And in the Satyug period, they were destroyed by Varaha Avatar and Narsingh Bhagwan. This same Jaya and Vijaya, which took birth as Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksh, has been reborn now in Treta Yuga as Ravan and who is the next one? The fellow who likes to eat plenty and sleep. Kumkaran. Eat and sleep. Right? So Ravan and Kumkaran. So Bhagwan Shri Ram came, one of the mission of the Ram avatars was to liberate Jaya and Vijaya from this Rakshasi type form that they have embodied in. And Bhagwan Shiva pointed out that in the Satyug period, they were Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksh and were destroyed by Shri Hari in the form of the boar incarnation and the form of the lion incarnation. So this brings me now to the concept of the avatar. So question I have to ask you now, who or what is an avatar? Huh? Who or what is an avatar? Shri Ram is an avatar? Huh? Is Shri Ram an avatar? Yes. Is Shri Krishna an avatar? Yes. What makes them an avatar? They are incarnation of the Supreme Being, right? The definition of an avatar is the descent of divinity on earth in a physical form for the ascension of man to the spiritual world. So the avatar descends in order for you, the individual, to ascend. And he does that through the medium of his leelas. So through the medium, when Bhagwan comes, he doesn't only preach, he doesn't tell you, do this, do that, do that. That is the Abrahamic faith, they do that. Do as I say, not as I do. That is their philosophy, their concept. Alright, we're not arguing that at all. Sanatan Dharma. How do we teach? We teach by examples. If you analyze all of our scriptures, series of questions and answers. And where action has to be performed, look at the life of Shri Ram. He did not only tell you how to live, he showed you how to live. He showed you how to deal with challenges when trying times came. Bhagwan Shri Krishna did the same. So the avatar sets the example for you. He teaches, he sets the example. So this concept of the avatar is something unique to Sanatan Dharma. The avatar is divinity in itself, in an embodied form, to guide humanity back to divinity. It is the descent of divinity in a physical form for the ascent of mankind to the divine form, back to his divine form. Now the avatar, when he comes and he lays the foundation, it is now the sages and the saints who will build on that. They will expound the teachings of Bhagwan and promote the teachings of Bhagwan. And when Bhagwan comes, he comes in a very specific form to suit the time, place and circumstances. Not all forms of God are human in nature. We know Bhagwan Shri Ram and Shri Krishna because they are the most popular among the avatars of Bhagwan Vishnu. Alright? And all of us grew up listening to either Ramayan Katha or Bhagavad Katha. So we are very familiar with the forms of Shri Ram and Shri Krishna. Another question is, why do Bhagwan take the human form? In the past he took animal form, why does he take the human form? If I have to relate to you, or if you have to relate to somebody, then you stand a better chance of understanding if you're talking to someone or something at your level. So if I'm looking just like you, and behaving just like you, I'm experiencing the same things like you, and I'm teaching you or I'm exchanging ideas with you, and you'll be more receptive to accept those truths than taking it for something that you're totally alien to you, totally foreign to you. Isn't that so? Right, so that is one reason why Bhagavan allows himself, embodies himself in the Manusha roop. He uses those forms he uses that form to interact with his devotees, to bring himself down to their level, to elevate them. Now divinity, that form of divinity, in order for us to develop progressively, he shows us that we have to start at a very infant stage and gradually move up. It's not something sudden. You know, some people have this idea that when Kali Yuga comes to an end, Kalki is just suddenly going to appear, and overnight he's going to re-establish Dharma, and Satyuga will immediately start. Not according to Vedic astrology at all. According to Vedic astrology, when the planets enter in certain positions in the zodiac, the birth of Kalki will come. He will usher in it gradually. The Satyuga will be ushered in gradually. You see, when it takes a mindset, the mindset has to change. And that doesn't happen in a day or 2 days, it happens over generations. And some holidays still do some of the things that all the ancestors do. Huh? Some of the behaviors and traits that some of you have, you inherited from your parents and your grandparents. And that mindset hasn't changed yet, so it takes time. That is why Bhagavan himself, when he's taking avatar, he starts as a form of the fish, the simplest life form. And he comes up to the Kalki avatar, which is the highly evolved man. So the concept of the avatar, he starts as the form of Kalki. As a form of Matsya. Matsya is the fish incarnation. Where does all life start? Science tells you, biology tells you, life starts in the primordial ocean. Alright? Even modern biology tells you life starts in the ocean. Alright? So that is the fish incarnation. Then gradually life moved out of the waters and started to be partially on land and water. So then you have the Kurma avatar. So you have a little development in consciousness there now, a higher degree. So you have something that is moving totally dependent from water to partially dependent on water. So you have the tortoise, Kurma avatar. Then after Kurma avatar you have Varaha. Varaha is the boar incarnation. The boar, the wild pig as we locally say. Right? Move away completely from being dependent on water, is on land, but lives in marshy and swampy areas. Then we have Narsingh. Nar means man, Singh means what? Lion. Right? So you have man, so a being that is totally now. And where did Narsingh appear, by the way? Varaha appeared he performed his leelas in the Rasatal, where he lifted the earth. Narsingh appeared where? He appeared in a palace. Alright? When he burst open from the column. So you have the Narsingh avatar now, where the further evolve, where you have a being of intelligence. Some degree of intelligence starts to develop. If you analyze a lion is a very tactical animal, isn't that so? Hunting skills. Alright? That is why it is an apex predator. Moving away from Narsingh, you have Vaman avatar. Vaman is described as being a dwarf. So now you have a human-like figure, a humanoid figure coming into being, but not yet fully developed as indicated by the dwarf-like nature of the individual. After Vaman avatar, you have Parshuram. How many of you have seen a picture of Murti of Parshuram? He's dressed in, with a deerskin hide. He has axe and he has a bow and arrow. Those are symbols of Stone Age man. Man that lives in the forest man that hunter-gatherer. Then you have, after Parshuram, you have Shri Ram. Parshuram was a very rough individual. A very individual who was quite easy to get angry. Then you have Shri Ram. Like I told you, another name for Shri Ram is Maryada Purushottam, meaning civilized man. So you have man moving out from the caves and the forest now, and he's in society, he's creating society. But society needs laws to be governed by. Can you have a Stone Age mentality to develop a thriving city or a thriving country? Huh? No, you have to have a forward thinking, analytical, a critical thinking, a problem solving type mentality in order to grow, in order to develop, in order to have innovations and ideas and so on. And that is the nature of Shri Ram. That is why Shri Ram, he uses his own inner potential to overcome his adversities. So he lived in the city of Ayodhya. So that is man moving out from the forest type lifestyle, hunter-gatherer lifestyle, into a civilization. Man has developed, he has established civilization. Bhagavan Shri Krishna shows man intellect has developed by narrating Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavan Krishna was also a very, very skilled tactician. If you study Mahabharata, you see the different skills of Bhagavan Shri Krishna. He knew how to manipulate a situation to suit his purpose. It may not be popular, but he knew how to manipulate those situations to get the outcome for the higher good. Then you have the Buddha. What is the meaning of the Buddha? Buddha means the intelligent one. Alright? So you have the one that is able to discriminate. The Buddha is the intelligent who uses now his intelligence to develop himself as well as society. And he does it because he is refined in his thinking. He does not need to resort to aggression. Have you ever seen a form of the Buddha that is angry? You will never see a form of the Buddha that is angry. Buddha is very peaceful, very calm. But when he speaks profound truths, and the depth of his teachings, it will take the sages and saints lifetime to decipher some of them. So with higher order thinking, with refined thinking, you are at peace with yourself, and you are spreading that peace in the wider world and society. And then you have Kalki, the avatar that is yet to come. And this Kalki represents that having gone through all of that development, you are now in a position to discriminate that which is right, that which is wrong, that which is progressive and that which is destructive. Kalki is said to come on a white horse. What is the symbol of the color white? Purity, everything that is good, everything that is virtuous, everything that is progressive. Everything that is developmental, progressively developmenting. What is the main weapon of Kalki? Kalki is said to hold a sword in his hand. In Devi Mahatam it tells us, when Durga Mata takes a sword in her hand, it represents the power of discrimination. That is why she kills Mahishasur when she didn't kill him with the sword, but she Mahakali, she killed Raktabij with this sword. You have to discriminate between that which is right, that which is wrong, and not just discriminate, know that which is right and wrong. Right? Because again, right here, these same two brothers, Kumkaran, knew what was right and what was wrong. Because even that same Kumkaran advised Vibhishan, brother, you are fortunate, you are entered into the service of Ram. What he talking to Ravan? Oh Ravan, you have made one of the biggest mistakes. You have kidnapped the consort of the Lord of the universe. Kumkaran knew right from wrong, but what? You have to go one step. Knowing is not enough. You have to go one step forward. You have to make the effort to put an end to that which is unrighteous in order for that which is progressive to flourish. So sometimes, and in our personal life, sometimes when we are facing trials and tribulation in our daily lives, sometimes we know what we have to do, but we don't want to do it. We're afraid. We don't know what people can say. We don't know what the family can think of. We don't know what society. But because it is righteous, because it is proper, because it is the correct thing to do, you have to do it. That is why I made the point earlier on. Not everything that is righteous is not everything that is righteous is popular. Nowadays, some of the things that are popular are not the right things at all. Huh? How many of you pay attention to the bacchanal that happening in the Olympics these days? Huh? So, this concept of the avatar, it is not simply God coming in a physical form. The concept of the avatar deals with our own growth and development, and it is not something that happens overnight. It is not something, so don't feel if when Shri Ram comes in here right now, all of us automatically become sadhus. It doesn't happen so. It is a gradual process. You know, sometimes people will come to me with problems and I'll give them job to do. Do the devotion to do. Alright? And they follow up 2-3 days. Papa, I've been even trying to tell me no, I ain't seen anything happening. So good here. But here this one, I'm still doing it. Papa, you can't do it for me.
That's the better one. The lazy.
Exactly. And that is a cancer in our Hindu society these days. And unfortunately, some of our pundits feed out of that.
Very correct.
Alright? So, it is not, Kalki is telling us, the avatar is telling us, knowing right from wrong is not good enough. Because just like Kumkaran in the Ramayan, Kumkaran knew right from wrong, but he chose not to do that. He chose not to apply the power of discrimination. And what happened to him in the end? He was destroyed. So to you knowing what is right from wrong, if you don't make some hard decisions in your life, you are going to suffer the consequences too. And sometimes the decisions we have to make and may not be the ones that we are immediately comfortable with. They are hard choices. Not only in our personal life, but even in our professional life, in the wider society. Alright? And this doesn't only apply to adults, it applies to children of school age too, especially teenagers. Sometimes children, especially teenagers, sometimes the decisions you make when you're 13 and 14 years, it affects you well into your 30s and 40s in such a manner that you will regret sometimes. Some of these children, they regret what they do back then. And they say, oh God, if I only knew, I would not have done. But it's too late. Alright? So that is why we just tell you, take the guidance of your parents, listen to your parents, listen to your teachers, listen to your guru. Alright? Do what is necessary. Sometimes what you have to do is may not be the popular thing to do, but because it is right, you have to do it. Right? Always remember, one of the Mahabharata is Satyameva Vijayate. What that means. Because it is truth, it will be triumphant, it will always prevail. So this concept of the avatar, when you hear about, so when Goswami Santosidas made the statement of Shri Ram birth, many, two levels of interpretation, meaning there are many avatars that come. Or this Ram form, he came in Treta Yuga, he will come in the next Treta Yuga, somewhere else right now in the multiverse, he is already there. The Upanishad says, one of the concluding verses in one of the Upanishads says, when you're doing karmakan, puja, alright, you have to do avahanam. And then when you conclude it, you have to do visarjan. So the Jnani is talking to Bhagavan, he said, Bhagavan, you never came, how can you leave? You are always here. You are here, there, and everywhere. You are inside and outside. In Narad Puran, it have a very interesting, Narad is like to play little leelas from time to time. So Naradji on earth one day, and he's telling, and he's walking down the road and he's seeing this tantric sage carrying a pot, like kalsa, clay pot, on his shoulder, tired. And he says, hey boy, what do you have inside here? He says, I have a boot inside here. Where's boot? Huh? Zombie. You know, some only have it in all the house. Right. So now, where's a boot? So he started telling them, local language is an evil spirit, right? So he said, let me see now. I never see a boot. So the fella now, the tantric, he opened the pot and he let Nada keep him inside. When he keep inside, what Nada Ji saw? They say, hey, Bhagavan, you go inside there too? So then Nada Ji started to explain the consciousness of the mind, the development of the mind, the evolution of the mind. Because Bhagavan is here, he is there, he is everywhere. And in reality, what we call bhoot or disembodied beings or prate, they are really souls that are so engrossed in ignorance, they have not attained that degree of evolution, you know. Alright? As an enlightened soul, or a soul that has left the body in a state of enlightenment, that is what we call, those are the souls that evolve and go to the Deva looks. The soul that is so absorbed in negativity and heaviness and all the bad traits, they are what goes down into the Patal looks. Alright? So it is not too separated. There is nothing called bhoot and prate. There is just the state of consciousness of the Atma. That Atma has not, or that Jiva has not developed itself. That is why it is in the eyes of the sage like Narad. Because his consciousness is that he's seeing through the veil of Maya that is Bhagwan here. Atman Paramatma is one. It is not two. Alright? Bhagwan and you and I, and the dog and the cat and the tree and the fish, all of us are one. Right? That's Ekam Paramam Brahman. That one Brahman exists in all beings. But Maya, the veil of Maya, and the lack of understanding and the lack of knowledge in our mind is what clouds our judgment and our memory to make you and me and everybody else believe I am an individual, and from the time that I come, see that ego, once the ego has taken birth in you, then the I and the mine and this, I and you and this, the distinctions. That's why Durga Mata has a sword or upraised to destroy, that is the sword of discrimination, to destroy the ego. There's a prayer, a very sacred prayer to the Devi that we do here. It's called Kargamala Stotram. I know what the Devi does when you get the blessings of that. Two things she does. Either she puts the sword of victory in your hand to go forward and spread dharma, or she garlands her devotees with a sword, with a garland made of swords. You will say, well, that's a strange ritual. Why would the mother want to do that? Where does the ego live? Where does the ego live? Huh? In the mind, in the brain. Right? The brain is the organ that the mind uses. Don't think the brain is the mind. Maybe medical psychology will tell you that, I don't know. But in Vedantic psychology, the mind is the organ the brain is the organ that the mind uses to express itself. Alright? Because yogis do have, and some people, not just yogis, some people do have what we call outer body experience. Alright? And that outer body experience is very real. The yogis and the rishis, they have the ability to leave the brain and the body and the organs right here and use the ashram astral body to go in different places. And our scriptures are full of examples of that. Alright? And do many miraculous things. And we are talking about ancient past. There are saints and sages in present day India who are capable of that. Of course, they don't really mingle with society, but they do exist. Alright? So tonight we have touched briefly on the concept of the avatar. I've also helped you understand that the purpose of Bhagwan coming, both from Ramayan here, where Bhagwan Shri Ram says the reason why he comes, as well as from Bhagavad Gita, where Bhagwan Shri Krishna says the reason why the avatar comes. We look at the whole concept of the avatar, and we look at the evolution that takes place. What the avatar seems to bring takes you from where you, what you don't know and to where you know. Another point I want to make to you, avatars like Shri Rama, Shri Krishna, they are forms of which deity? Bhagwan Vishnu. Alright? What's the role of Bhagwan Vishnu in the cosmos? In the trinity of Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva, what is the role of Brahma Vishnu? He's the protector, the preserver, he's the administrator of the universe, right? So if you look at the Vishnu avatars, it is always to preserve something. Alright? Do Lord Vishnu alone take avatar? Huh? What about Lord Shiva? Does he take avatar? Huh? Who tell me no? One of the most beloved deity that you all worship is an avatar of Bhagwan Shiva. He is here right now. Wherever this Ram Katha is being recited, he is always there. Who is that? Bhagwan Hanuman. He is the Ekadash Rudra. So Shiva takes avatar too. Two popular avatars of Shiva that is worshipped in Trinidad is Kal Bhairav Baba, fifth avatar of Shiva, and Hanuman Baba. 11th avatar of Lord Shiva. There's another fellow, another avatar of Lord Shiva. All of them will see him one day. I guarantee you, everybody going to see him one day. Yamraj. 8 avatars of Lord Shiva is Yamraj. Alright? All of you have to meet him one day. Huh? So, Bhagwan Shiva takes avatar. What about Lord Brahma? We talk about the trinity of Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. Do Lord Brahma take avatar? Huh? In this, okay, let me stick to Ram Charitramanas. Is there avatar of Lord Brahma mentioned in the Ramayan here? Huh? You all grew up around it. Come on. Huh? Yes, there's an avatar of Brahma. Lord Brahma do take avatar too, not as often as Shiva and Vishnu. And he is very instrumental in the Leela of Shri Ram. Not only the Leela of Shri Ram, he was also instrumental in part of the Leela of Bhagwan Krishna. Tell them. Tell them, John. Jamwant. Now, the avatar of Brahma, Jamwan, did he come in Treta Yuga? He came in Satyuga. When Vaman avatar came, Vishnu Puran says, Jamwan was there. He performed pradakshina around Vaman 21 times. Now, if you go to the beginning of Sundarkand, it starts with a discussion with Jamwan reminding Hanuman. And why Jamwan is reminding Hanuman about his potential, apart from that was Hanuman's duty. One of the excuses that Jamwan gave that I am aged, and I doubt I have it within me to make that journey across the ocean and back. Alright, you are the son of the wind, you are very much younger than me, and you are very much agile, and you are more fit than me. Alright, so apart from reminding of Hanuman of his potential, Jamwan is telling saying that I am aged, I am old now. I doubt I can make that trip. So he's telling that alone hints that Jamwan was there before Treta Yuga. But to find out when Jamwan appeared, when Brahma took the avatar of Jamwan, you have to go to Bhagavad Puran or Vishnu Puran, where when Vishnu took the avatar of Vaman, when he started to grow in size and he started to put the foot to reclaim the earth, when he put the foot to reclaim the earth, Jamwan went around 21 times. Then Jamwan was young and vibrant and full of energy, so he had the potential to do that. In Dwapar Yuga, you know when Shri Ram was going, he lead back some people on earth. Jamwan was one of them. He told, you'll stay here till Dwapar Yuga. Alright? And there, when there was a gem, a very precious gem that was stolen. Well, Krishna was accused of stealing that gem. And so, Krishna entered a cave. They tracked him down to a cave. And that bear that had his family living in that cave there. That bear family, that bear was no other than Jamwan. And he had to kill Jamwan in order to free him from that form to emerge back into Lord Brahma. That was the end of the Jamwan avatar. And that daughter of Jamwan married Bhagavan Krishna. And the Leela is as such that the son produced from the daughter of Jamwan and Krishna, his name was Samba. That Samba was no other than a Rudra avatar. That Rudra avatar, now that is an arrangement Bhagavan Krishna and Shiva had. When Shri Krishna wanted to have a child, he prayed to Lord Shiva, and a deal was struck between them. That Shri Krishna, Shiva is telling that if your descendants remain here on earth without your guidance, they are going to destroy this universe. They are very powerful. And so Samba came as that Rudra avatar to make the mischief now, to where the Sarap will be pronounced, that the Yadu clan will be destroyed. Alright? Now, when you understand your scripture, everything is interlinked, you know. It is like a mala. One add to another, and you get an entire garland of Vedic scriptures. So Lord Brahma takes avatar from time to time, not very much often. Vishnu, because of his function, takes avatar. Bhagavan Shiva takes avatar too. Alright? Not as popular as Vishnu, not as often as Vishnu, but again because of Bhagavan Vishnu's role, he has to come often. But in all of the avatars, they are there to guide, they are there to develop. If Jamwan didn't awaken the consciousness of Hanuman, you think Hanuman would have that courage? And I once Swamiji, and then don't touch on the topic, I intend to touch on it. Alright? If Jamwan didn't awaken that courage, I know sometimes all of us here, we have certain potentials within us, but we just need the right person to guide you and push you in a particular direction. And if you don't get that guidance, that is a talent that is wasted. Right? If you get the proper guidance, you'll be surprised to see how that person will excel. That is what Jamwan was. Jamwan was that counselor that gave Hanuman that courage, that, oh Hanuman, awaken your potential within you. Alright? So that was the role of, one example of the role of the Jamwan avatar in the life of Hanuman, so that Bhagavan Shri Ram's mission could have been complete. So imagine Jamwan never working out, Hanuman would have just sit down, so twiddling his thumb. Nobody know what to do, because they are at the end of the ocean. There's a big sea in front of them. What do you think they're going to do? Do like most of it? Pull out the phone and go on social media and... Huh? That's what children just do nowadays when they see they can figure out something, you know. So everybody have their role, everybody have their purpose. So here the avatar is showing us that these are not just cosmic reality, but it is the evolution of our self, our mind, our mindset. Alright? You want to be at a low level like a fish, things can behave like that, but you have to come out from there at some stage in your life, in some stage of your development. Alright? In order to progress, in order to develop. And that requires now work, constant work in progressing and self-development. You cannot remain one way all the time. The avatars, if you look at the avatar in science, tell you Darwin's theory of evolution, but that is Darwin's theory of evolution here. Alright? But in our own everyday life, the avatar, the order in which the avatar comes is our own consciousness. This avatar, you'll see it in your own development as you go through the corridors of life. When a baby now born, he's like, that is the Matsya stage of his life. Isn't that so? Do you know a newborn baby has the ability to naturally swim? Huh? Doctor? Dr. Veera? Huh? Right. So the doctor says so, eh? Right. So a newborn baby has the ability to swim. Right? That is equivalent to the Matsya avatar. Then that same baby goes up on all four. What that looks like? A little tortoise walking around in your house. Eh? Then that baby now, he's going to hold things and walk and pull down this and make little mischief and thing now. That is like the Varaha avatar, making mess then. Everything you want to hold and put in the mouth and all that kind of thing. Right? Then, as you grow now and you try to restrict him, you get a little, you start to misbehave and thing a little bit. That's like the little nursing in him. Then he starts to walk properly. He's a little toddler, a 3-year-old and 2-year-old, 3-year-old and thing. That's like the little varmint running around in your house. Then time comes for school, he grow up and thing a little bit. Alright, he's able to learn manners, he's able to learn basics of reading and writing. That is the Shri Ram stage in his life. He goes on now to higher education. That is the Krishna form. His mind is developed. He graduates from university. That is the Buddha. He becomes intelligent. He gains knowledge. And he takes his place in society as a responsible adult. That is the Kalki now, where he has the decisions to make in order for him and his family and his society to progress. So it is not just the divinities that you're seeing here. They're not isolated. That is why the Rishis and the Munis, the sages say, go within, you will find Bhagavan within. All of that, the avatars are within. It is within your own personality, within your own conscious mind, within your growth and development. So dear devotees, we have looked at the concept of the avatar tonight with reference to Shri Ram. And we have seen, we briefly touched, that Shri Ram didn't only come in this Treta Yuga. Shri Ram is already existing in some other universe, in the multiverse. Alright? On another occasion, maybe in another type of Yagya, we'll do Bhagavad Katha, where we'll explore the multiverse in its facets. This is why I say we need a projector. We need a projector to show, because sometimes visual aid is important in teaching. Any student, any teacher will tell you if they have visual aids to deliver certain messages or certain topics or lessons, it tends to be, all of you just go to school here, and sometimes when a teacher put on a little projector and thing, it is to grasp the concepts and the ideas and thing a little better. So too, having these visual aids will help from time to time. Alright? So what we'll do at this point in time, we'll have 1 or 2 bhajans while Havan concluding Havan takes place. Prem se bolo Prabhu Ramachandra ki Jai.
सती को मेरा वचन
Principal Prabhu Ramachandra ki Jai. So just to continue with our little token of appreciation from last night. So I'll hand over to Nikki to conduct this part of the program. While Nikki is organizing there, I think last night when we said we expressing our gratitude for the assistance for the building of the temple, some people get the idea that this organization only exists for the construction of the temple. This organization exists since the year 2002. It gained legal status in the year 2012, and the temple building started in the year 2020 and it was finished. But we opened it finished that same year, but we opened it in February 2021. Alright? So since the year 2002, this organization was founded. Alright? And it developed and grew over time until it reached a stage where we needed to get our status regularized according to the laws of this country, and we did that in the year 2012, and here we are today.
Thank you, everybody. Okay, so as we continue with our tokens of appreciation throughout the course of the Yagya, tonight we'll continue with that. So firstly, I'd like to recognize Mataji, Mrs. Pundit Vishnu Maharaj. Mataji has stood with Shri side by side and has worked tremendously to bring us to where we are. So please give her a round of applause. Okay, so the second person on my list tonight is none other than Chandika Maharaj. Chandika is the daughter of Guruji and Mataji. And well, as you can guess from inception, Chandika has hit the ground running. And she has been a vital part of everything that goes on here. So please give her a round of applause. And I must say, thank you to Mataji and Chandika, who would have given up their personal space over the last 12 or more years for us to do the work that we are doing and for us to continue to do what we do. So to both of you, thanks. Next on our list, so this person, she's not here very often. In person, that is, but when we have events, you'll see her. You'll see members of her family as well. At different points in time, you'll see different members of the family, but once we call on them, they're always integral in everything that we do. So to Mrs. Angela Baiju and family, Anelia, you would know Anelia's dancer extraordinaire, 2 dancers here and everything that we have. And I didn't even know Anelia is actually a national dancer. I've seen her perform on big stages here. So to her as well, thank you. To Rakesh and his family and all other members of this family, I want to say thank you very much for everything that you have done for us. And lastly on my list tonight, this person has been with us throughout. You call on him, he's there. As Guruji said, when Yatra goes from place to place, he's there. Everything, he's there with us. He comes, he lends his support to everything. This person, Mr. Ken Wellington. So Uncle Ken is, as you know, a drummer, resident drummer at the ashram for as much years as we get to remember. In recent times, his health hasn't been what it was, but he still persists and trying to do as much as he could do for us. So please give him a round of applause. Even to all members of his family who comes and supports us every event that we have to say thank you to all of you as well. Thank you once again.
So at this point in time, let us start as we have our concluding Loud as you can, from the very top of your voices, let us proclaim victory for our way of life. Let us establish firmly and confidently our presence and identity and for our noble religions in our country. Principal Gajanan Swami ki, Mahapati Mahadev ki, Lord Putra Hanuman ki, Jagadambika Durga Mata ki, Sadguru Nath Maharaj ki, Satyanarayan Swami ki, Principal Shri Ramachandra ki, Shri Satya Sanatan Dharma ki. Right there. Take a seat. So RT will be passed around. After you gather your RT, your meals are on the prasad and the meals are on the outside. So while RT is passed around, let me discuss to you if you have a big project that is already started but will peak next year. And John, I hope in your way to help you out in this a little bit. So next year Hanuman Jayanti is going to be on a Saturday. Started from New Year's morning, New Year's night in the ashram here, we launched something called Project Hanuman. Alright? Project Hanuman is geared towards reviving that God conscious, that Hindu identity within us. And we are using Lord Hanuman to do that because he is the symbol of everything positive, everything. In other words, nothing is impossible for him. Alright? So what we're going to do starting on Hanuman Jayanti Day, we're going to do 108 Hanuman Chalisa. So we're going to start 4 o'clock in the morning. Alright, we'll start with Panchmukhi Hanuman Puja. And as time comes along, I'll give you more detail. This Ramayan Yagya is a precursor to that. There is no Hanuman. Alright? So we cannot want to do Hanuman yet next year and do all that devotion to Hanuman without acknowledging Hanuman Shri. So that is why we're doing things in a systematic, guided by Guruji. We are doing things in a systematic order. Alright? So this year we're doing our, we laid the foundation. Alright? Already, devotees of our mandir started learning Hanuman Chalisa. Because we want to get 108 Chalisa from 4 o'clock in the morning to 6 o'clock in the evening. And during that course of time, while the Chalisa is taking place, we have pujas conducted on the day. 108 flags will be hoisted on that day. Alright? So during the course of the day, if I can get people like John and my friend here to come in, just give you about 2 hours of drumming and music. Alright? Right, Malas? You have to come and do some drum that day too, and sing Hanuman Chalisa and things like that. So it's a Saturday. By the way, people, it's a Saturday. So I want to hear the excuses. Also next year we'll be doing Hanuman Yagya. And devotees of the ashram or supporters of the ashram say, if you're interested, let me know early. Because today while we're cooking, we done cook out a few days already. Alright, so those of you who want to participate in that Hanuman Yagya, just let me know early. And towards that's in the middle part of the year. Our Yagya has always been the month of Shravan. Alright? And towards the end of the year, like about October so, October will be Diwali and Kartik and thing. Towards somewhere in November, I haven't set that date yet, we're going to have a Kanda Sundarkan. Alright? So Sundarkan being recited non-stop on that day. Alright? We'll not be reading it like how we did do Ramayan from this course. Just reciting the verses of Sundarkan non-stop. Alright? So that is our plan for next year. So those of you who want to be part of it, let me know. And to support that project, it will take some, we have these jerseys here. Where my models are that day? Huh? Oh, Vishal, do I look thing there for them, right? Right, that is a Project Hanuman jersey. Also, we have stickers and so on available. Alright, as you see, that is not the traditional Ashram jersey, that is specific for this event here. Alright, and we're using it to raise our Hindu consciousness and awareness. Now, as a person who deals with a lot of school children, there's a lot of bullying and things that takes place in schools. So I want to awaken some kind of positive values in these children. And let me tell you something, and those of us who are in social work will know, you see, mental health issues is a big problem in this country. Alright? A big problem. So that Hanuman energy within you can eliminate all of that. But you have to have the proper guidance and the proper, know how to tap into it in the proper way. Just as how Jamwan was instrumental in awakening that consciousness within Hanuman of his true potential. This project Hanuman, is geared towards waking up our Hindu identity and Hindu consciousness within us. Alright, so come out and support this project. Alright, and how we're doing that, start to learn Hanuman Chalisa, coming in our Sunday service and so on, and occasionally you'll hear what stage and what level of development we reach. Alright. Also, these jerseys are available. If you want just give us, if you don't have your size currently available, we're taking the orders. Once we have a certain amount, then we'll print. Alright? So Dolina, Chandika, even Chandra, you could give them your name. Name, size, whatever. Tell them.
Well, the size, if you're interested, you'll put your name, the size, and your phone number. And I would like a down payment, so I know that you're going to get it up.
Alright, so if you're interested in this Project Hanuman jersey, alright, now there's something unique to this ashram and it is copyright. You're not going to see, if you want, you can just have a look at the back of it. If you notice Hanuman flying over Trinidad, holding our national flag. Alright, the artist who designed that took him right here. Visham did that artwork. Alright, so eventually that is going to be done in a big flag or a big banner posted up in front of our ashram. Alright? So when you come in here, you'll see on the two sides of the gate 2 empty flag stuff. That is to have something going on with those things in the near future. Alright? So support this project. We need those of you who want to be part of the 108 Hanuman Chalisa, you need to learn Hanuman Chalisa. You don't have to know it by heart. We have copies available. I think you start sharing out those copies for those who want it from tomorrow night. Okay? And the jerseys, you just let Dorina or Chandra or Chandika know and we'll start making arrangements. The restriction we have is we can't print one. We have to print in bulk in order to get it at a reasonable price. Okay? So Project Hanuman is on. It's going to peak next year and be part of it. It is something that will only invigorate you and not just about prayers here, it's about your own development. That is just part of taking place here. Outside here we have a Kanda Havan from the morning to sunset. Non-stop Havan, but one every hour somebody changing. So if you want to be part of that and all, let me know. There will be stations set up on the corridor here where you will be doing Hanuman Abhishek with Sindur, with Panchamrit and with jasmine oil. As time come along, I'll give you more details on how that is going to evolve. Alright? So it is something full of activities, a day full of activity. And don't worry, you're getting breakfast and again lunch. Alright? So we cater for you to stay here whole day. Prem se bolo Pawan Putra Hanuman ki Jai. So we need a lot of support in that. Okay? So are we pass out here? Right, so
Thursday offering. Thursday offering.
Thursday offering is Parameshwari Puja. Everybody, this is the month of Shravan. Devotion to Lord Shiva is very, very important. Alright, we did Shiv Puja and Linga Puja just now as the Monday in Shravan. Thursday is our Rameshwaram Puja. Come out and do your offerings. And you can keep your offerings simple. Just bring some milk to offer the lingam and fruits. If you choose to make prasad or sweets, it's not a problem. I'm just telling you how you can keep it simple. Alright? Make sure your tarya has your essentials, your flowers, your bay leaves and so on. Same thing with your lota and all, and you do your offering here. Come out and do your offering. You start a little early to accommodate you. Alright, so those who come in to do offerings, so we wouldn't cut into the discourse time. Alright? Anything else I left out, Nikki? Those of you who want to come and do a little arti and thing on the multi, now we have one rule in this ashram here. If you're going up on the altar there, I don't mind anybody taking out the chairs and so on. Do not touch the multis. Alright? Do not touch the murtis. If you have offerings to do, there are silver trays in which the diyas are there, you do your offering there, but do not touch the murtis. Consecrated murtis, you are not supposed to touch it. You are still getting an opportunity to go close to a murti here. Ask those who've been to India, you have to stay 20 feet away from the murti just to watch it. Alright? And when you do offering, a pundit coming and taking the offering from your hand and putting it on the altar. So you can come, take out your pictures, come and do your arti, do your offerings if you so choose, just don't touch the murtis. Alright? Anything else? Okay, so I'll see you all again tomorrow when we continue.